welcome to my channel, MomDelights.com. I'm Sherry Hayes, a mom of 15, been homeschooling for 31 years, and today I have an exciting announcement. The new record book is available for purchase. And besides me going over this wonderful book with you today, I have a special treat. I have 4 of these available for giveaway. Look for the details below and make sure and watch the video to find out more. So this is the new record book. As you can see, it's so gorgeous and pretty. My daughter Olivia is the one that formatted this for me. She also designed the cover. We had lots of input, but she is just amazing. So I want to go first over what started the record book. And here's the first edition that we have been selling on Amazon. And this started out because many years ago, I decided that I needed something to help me keep track of my kids' learning. Now, I tend towards a more relaxed homeschooling, so I mean, we don't just do workbooks and textbooks. We do like a lot of reading aloud, exploring. The kids have their own, what I call autodidact time, where they explore what they like to learn. And in order to keep track of it, one day I was sitting in my husband's office, and I just took a ruler and a black magic marker and I just created this chart. And then I would copy it and I would use it for all the kids' activities. I would write the activity here, and then I had like the subjects all lined on top. Like this is like I would have, this is the time. I would put time spent. Then I would put like Bible and life and on like that. And like it was science, history, or world studies, I call it, because it's like social studies. And then I would like have this appear, and then for each thing we did, let's say that we were reading aloud a book on George Washington. Then I would go over here and I would say we spent an hour reading aloud, and then I would check mark all the areas that we were learning, all the educational areas that we were touching by reading this book aloud. And then like if we went to a museum, like an art museum, I would put like check all the different areas. Like if it was an outing, then we were like socializing a little bit, you know, church counted for learning, everything counted for learning then. Then when I was tallying up the hours that we spent, I was counting not just the formal learning in workbooks and textbooks, but I was counting all the spontaneous learning we were doing. If we stopped when we were on a nature walk and we talked about how certain things relate to life or something like that, then, you know, I would take that and I would write that down. That was part of their learning time together, even though it wasn't, you know, sitting in like in a classroom setting. It was still learning that was going on, and I counted it here. So as you can see, I also have a picture of like, I would take these and I would 3-hole punch them, and I would put them in these, you know, these folders that have the prongs in them, and I would stick them in there. Of course, these are all worn out by the time I was done with them. I still have these someplace. But that's how this whole thing started, and I thought, well, I want something that's a little more permanent and easy to use, and I know a lot of ladies could also use this. So I went ahead, and this is the record book I created. This is all of like the philosophy and the instructions, and here I had some sample pages, and here is a 2-page spread of the calendar year, so you can kind of make notes and keep track of things. My daughter, who also homeschools, actually has put a little key over here that she's made, so she can actually plug little notes into each day, and she has a key of what the little letters mean. So that, I think that's really cool. And so here I've got my pages all done up. I've been using this consistently. As you can see, I have a tally here of the amount of hours we've been spending, because that's what our state requires. So I have that. I keep little notes for myself. I have a note place here that I can write in. So this is the old one, and this is still available for purchase, and it is kind of neat because it already has at the top, as you can see, it already has the subjects written in. However, and in discussing this with my daughter and a friend of hers, they told us that there were a number of changes they thought should be made to the book. And my daughter Olivia and I, we thought, well, you know what, we can make it prettier and nicer. So we went together, we put our heads together, and we came up with some new improvements. And so that's why this is called the 2nd edition, as you can see here. So what I'm going to show you is it's a lot prettier. And okay, here's a table of contents. And what we've done is we've given 20 pages of the tally, the regular daily work, and then for each 20 pages there's a tally page where you can tally up all of the learning that's gone in the last 20 days or the last month, we figured. And then so you can also keep track of the hours that way. There's also a key page, and this is something important my daughter emphasized, the daughter that's homeschooling. She's in one of my videos, by the way. You can see her, and she has some children that have learning challenges, and the way she's been facing that is really interesting. I'll put the card up here for you to enjoy that. Here's the key page. Here's a place for you to put your child's name and put their initial here, and that's important as you're keeping track to have an initial so that you can show which child is doing what. Here are some suggested possible subject areas: Bible, character training, language arts, math, science, world studies, physical activity, arts, music and handicraft, outing, life skill. And here are the suggested initials that you can use, abbreviations you can use to put at the top of the page. And there's a lot of spaces in case you want to do your own. And here also are the different learning activities. Instead of having to write self-read or silent read over and over again, read aloud, group time. So here's some abbreviations for those so that you can write that into your activities. And now let me show you what I mean by all this. First I'll show you a blank page. Well, first come first, right? So this is the calendar page. You can write the year at the top if you want to. You can write the month in here, so you can start any month of the year. And then then you can write in the days of the month. So you can start anywhere with this. You can start today and do the rest of this calendar year, however you want to do it. So the next thing we're going to see is the actual recording page. Well, here's a place for the dates, right up here, which is different from the former one. Here's a place for you to write in your own subjects. So you're going to be writing, and it's really labor intensive for every day to write the whole thing out. That's why it's suggested that you just write the initial above. But there is a place if you wanted to write them out. I mean, that's okay too. There's enough space for you to do either. So let's say that you were going to watch a YouTube movie, and the YouTube movie was about had something to do with some science fiction thing or something like that. You can write down F for flick and what the movie title was, and then you could click science and maybe a little bit of language arts or whatever was touched in that time. And then you would take the hours that you spent on different, you can do book work or whatever you want to put in there, and you keep track of the hours, and at the end you bring the total from the previous page, if you have one, here, and then you add this page's tally, and then you get the total here, okay? And then the next day, of course, you'll be bringing that over to the next day, and so on and so forth, until you get to, there'll be 20 pages here, and then you'll get to, I'm getting there, I promise. You're getting over here to the tally page. The tally page has this month's totals, the previous month's totals, the grand total, and then this is for all subjects, but you can also tally for each different subject. I don't know if you see here. See there's actually a tally space here for different subjects. Now, why this is important is if you have a teen that's you're trying to make it easy when you want to make a transcript for that teen. You can use this for one person. You can have them keep track of this themselves, right? And then what can happen is they can say, well, I covered, you have to have so many credit hours and so many different things. So let's say that for this 20 days, you want to study biology, you're studying advanced literature or whatever you decide to do. And then you can keep track of the exact hours that are being spent in these areas, and you can write this in, and at the end you can have a tally for each month, and that will make it easy for you if you use credit hours to make your transcript. It'll make it easy schmeezy, right? Also, we thought it'd be fun to put some really cool little quotes and Bible verses after each one. So that's pretty much how the book's laid out. And at the end, we decided to put the instructions and everything at the end, okay? So that the front is your book. The end is there if you need it. And I have an example here if you forgot everything I just talked about, which happens with me quite often. you will find all that information here so that will help you to figure it out. Okay, so I hope you like this. We've tried to price these things as affordable as possible so that everybody can afford to have something nice, because I know what it's like. You have a lot of kids, you have to make sure they all have shoes and peanut butter and jelly, and so the little extra you have, you don't want to spend a lot of it on your school books. Am I right? That's why I use a lot of stuff that's free online myself. And I also have a possible free download of the early pages that I made, you know, the early style. I have that online for free on my blog, momdelights.com, and I'll try to put a link below for that for you. So I hope you like this, and I hope it blesses you. Make sure and like and subscribe and click the bell if you want to have more notifications of wonderful videos. Bye-bye.